So you step on the scale and your weight is up. Is that cause for alarm? All right, guys, Mike here, and I'm coming to you today to kind of break this scenario down. And listen, the answer to that question is the answer that nobody ever wants to hear, which is it depends. It depends. You know, if you are actively working to drop body fat, and this is something where you have a plan in place, you're working that plan, and you see some success, and then at some point you step on that scale, and all of a sudden your weight's up, and it might be up several pounds. But the question is that cause for alarm? Should you be worried? All right, so I'm actually live streaming this in our VIP group as well as our fitness and nutrition hacks group. So you guys in our fitness and nutrition hacks group, you're going to get an inside view today into a little bit of what we do in our VIP group. Kind of coaching we give to make sure that you guys are settled in your brains with what you're doing and that you are always on track towards hitting those goals. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen with you guys because I went and I pulled a few pictures, some screenshots of client progress. So I happened to be on our back end looking at some of our clients recently, seeing what's been going on. And in one person in particular, I was looking at her results, and I saw that after an initial 4.5 pound drop, she's up 2 pounds. And because it's still early in the game, like I know that she's probably a little bit concerned about seeing that increase and wondering like, what the heck did I do? You know, I've been following the plan, and I know she's been following the plan, so I'm not really concerned. But in order to put her mind at ease, as well as some of you, I want to give you guys a little bit of insight as to what your progress will and should look like over the course of several months. Because let's be honest, it didn't take you a few weeks to get into the conditions you're currently in, right? Probably took you several months, probably in many cases, several years to get to the point where you're at. And it's not going to all come off overnight. We all know that. I think we're all reasonable adults here. But still, we get upset when we're working so hard to hit that goal and we're not seeing the fruits of our labor, or we see some but not all. And then all of a sudden, as I said, the alarm bells are going off and we're wondering like, what the heck happened? So let's go ahead and take a look. And this is going to be pretty cool when you guys see this because it's going to make a lot of sense. All right, so let's go into presentation view here. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you a couple quick examples. So you see this individual, I mean, you see the progress over the course of about 3.5 months. And it's pretty obvious that this was not a straight line down, but if we look at her results from the start of her journey to the end, you know, pretty significant. That's pretty significant progress over the course of 3.5 months. And that being said, you could probably pinpoint the moments if you were this individual at which you might have been picking up your phone or typing an email or sending a text to me or one of our coaches saying, I don't understand what's going on. Same thing here. I mean, again, this looks a little bit better, right? It's a little bit more of a linear line down, but still we see these periods of plateau, these periods of a nice big drop, and then followed by an increase above where we were just several days earlier. And now this one, all right, guys, so check this out. How freaked out would you be if this was you? How freaked out would you be? You think you're doing pretty good, right? You drop that, 1.5 pounds in the first couple of days, and all of a sudden, bam, your weight shoots up, and it's up, and it's not coming down quickly, but it eventually drops off. So this individual in particular, I want you to check this out because this is what we do to ourselves. We have this snapshot, right? We're looking at things from day to day. So this is only about a 2-week, maybe a 10-day period that we're looking at right here. And so most of us, we're looking at our weight day to day. How did I compare to yesterday? How did that compare to maybe last week? So we take these small snapshots before we actually take a look at the big picture and really recognize what's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch this client's progress out over a longer period of time. So about 3 months. Pretty good. Lots of ups and downs, but still, she goes from 138, drops down to as low as 126. Pretty good progress, right? Like 4 pounds a month. You're not talking about somebody who is like exceptionally overweight and has a ton of weight to lose. I mean, she's working towards hitting her peak right now. But you still see there's those daily ups and downs. But I want you to see her progress stretched out over an even longer period. So now this goes back to the end of July, or sorry, the beginning of August until now, where she had started at above 150 pounds, approximately about 154 pounds. So when you stretch this out over the course of 6 months, I mean, who would sign up for that kind of progress, right? To know that you could consistently just make this downward trend over time if you just stay consistent with it. And that's really all it comes down to, is just being consistent day in and day out. So for any of you who, again, you are on this journey, right? You feel like you're making good progress, but you take that step on that scale and you just can't understand what's happening. I want you to take heed, right? I want you to think back to this particular video, and I want you to be reminded of the fact that your results are not what happens over the course of a couple days. In many instances, it's not even what happens over the course of a few weeks. I mean, you have to stretch this thing out over time. And the key is just staying on the tracks. Because listen, I could point to any of those individuals and know that for absolute certain, they had days where they were off their plan. They had, maybe a weekend here or there where they went away, and they intentionally knew that they were not going to stick to their plan 100%. But the key is that over time, it was like that 90-10 rule. 90% of the time they were doing exactly what they needed to do. 10% of the time they did not. But I don't think anyone here would not hesitate to sign up for those kind of results where they could just say, hey, you know what? 3 months from now, 6 months from now, I am going to be this much lower than where I started, right? It's not going to be perfect, but I am going to do it because I'm going to stay consistent, and I'm not going to concern myself over the daily ups and downs. I'm just going to stay focused on what I need to be doing, the actions I need to take each day. And as long as I do that, I'm going to hit my goal and I'm going to feel like $1 million. So I don't know who that was going to help today. Hopefully somebody out there, if you got some value from this, please do me a favor and drop value below. If this helped put your mind at ease, please let me know. I want to know that this stuff is helping you guys so we can continue to come at you with awesome content that's going to keep you on track towards smashing your fitness goals. Catch up with you guys tomorrow.